Well, on the other side of town, I will move north to the Chicago Cubs, where
The spending spree is Oh,
I've already started my impromptu rant against them, stepping all over your White Sox segment there. Sorry about that, but mainly that was because I've been more and more enraged as this not so hot stove season has gone on. As name after name has come off the board, big names like Trey Turner, big
he
names
gone.
like Jacob DeGrom,
He gone.
have all been signed by other teams not named the Chicago Cubs. And it didn't even sound like the Cubs were in the running for any of those top players necessarily. We still have two of the four big shortstops on the board there, potentially available. We'll see if the Cubs actually fucking do something. The funny thing, I just want to bring up one story with the DeGrom signing. Like, I immediately saw Cubs fans like defending not signing him. Like, oh, he got way overpaid, at least $35 million more than he should have been paid. And I had to respond. It was I don't know if it was Bleed Cubby Blue. It was like it wasn't just some jerk ass on Twitter. It was somebody with a big following and covers
Yeah.
the Cubs. I told him, why is the $35 million relevant to you if they overpaid? And I think the Rangers certainly did for the age of DeGrom and his health, but
Yeah.
he's also the greatest pitcher in the world if he's healthy. So why can't the Cubs spend over that money? Why does any fan give a fuck about what a team spends to get the best players on the field? And I really think it is the owners and front offices of every Major League Baseball team has conditioned us to believe that spending too much money is bad for us somehow. And it's not. The only person it's bad for if it doesn't work out is the owner. And I don't give a fuck about any of the owners because we've proven over and over again how much money those fuckers have. They just tell us that they can't do these things because it's bad for us. And it's just total bullshit. So the next time you see anyone saying, trying to justify or trying to make themselves feel better about our, insert your favorite team here, why they didn't get a free agent and that the other team overpaid for him, it's just a complete bullshit argument that is propaganda from the owners and front offices of Major League Baseball. So I'm tired of it. I know it's gone on forever. It's never going to end, but that's part of my rant earlier about the fake salary cap. It is not a cap. There's nothing to it. The punitive measures that luxury tax have are essentially money. There is one point where if you are either over by a certain threshold or you've gone over for multiple years, that it does cost you draft compensation. But that is, you don't lose a draft pick. Your draft pick just moves back 10 spots. So the punishment to any fan or to the team itself is next to zero other than money. So for a fan to ever complain about or to lament or to justify anything that their team does to be budget friendly is bullshit. It is doubly so, triply so with the Chicago Cubs, third largest market in America. A team that has their own fucking television network that they have sold to the population of Chicago who are paying for that, the privilege to watch their fucking Chicago Cubs. They've bought the entire neighborhood surrounding Wrigley Field and turned it into Schaumburg.
That they have.
And are profiting off of everything that comes in and out of that neighborhood. And yet we are not hearing them spend ridiculous amounts of money on anyone at this point. And they might, I'm going on my rant, maybe possibly prematurely, but for the Cubs not to be acting like the big market club that they are is unconscionable. And it is a slap to the face of every Cubs fan out there. They should be in every conversation for every major free agent out there. Their mantra for the last 2 years now that we keep hearing is intelligent spending. And when you hear intelligent spending, that's a code word for we're going to act like a middle market team. That is all I hear when I hear intelligent spending. I want my team to spend stupid money. That's what I want. When they have that much stupid money, that much stupid leverage, You've got everything you need to buy your way out of mistakes. Even that's what the big boys do. That's how you run a team when you are the Chicago Cubs in my mind. I would love for all their decisions to be intelligent, for them to make sense, and for them to work out perfectly. But that's not even the case, even when you spend intelligently necessarily. Sometimes things don't work out, but you spend your way out of problems when you have the resources that the Chicago Cubs do, and they are choosing not to. And that is a slap in the face of every Cubs fan out there. We have intelligently spent on Cody Bellinger.
Well, I don't know. Again, they may have not intelligently spent.
The only reason I'll say it's intelligent, it's a 1-year deal. And like we always say, there are no bad 1-year deals. If it flames out, it's $17.5 million down the drain. Not my money, not anyone to worry about except for Tom and Daddy Ricketts over there.
I guess I guess at 17 and a half, it's not the money.
Thank you.
It's just what leads anyone to believe that he's going to trend upward at this point?
Again, he's a former MVP, and then another
3 years ago.
Yeah, he's the worst hitter in baseball. There's a happy medium there. He was a little bit better the last two, but not substantially.
He's a great defender, though.
That was my point.
So you got another Jason Hayward. Congratulations,
the center fielder. So it's not Jason Hayward. That was $184 million over 6 years. So that's again why this is not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. I like it as a flyer. I hate it as it's the biggest move essentially that the Cubs have done so far this offseason.
I just think it's a non-competitive offensive move is what I'm saying.
Potentially. Again, it's just a 1-year deal. I would like him better at first base than Frank Schwindel. But these are the things we're talking about with the Cubs right now. This sounds like a middle market team trying their damnedest just to get through. They're going to work hard and we'll find a way. This should be the behemoth of the Midwest. You've got the teams on the East Coast, the West Coast. The Cubs should dominate the Midwest, and they just choose not to, and it's unbelievable. They did sign Jameson Taillon to a longer term deal, 4 years, $66 million. I'm okay with that. I think that's probably a decent move. He's 31 years old. Career
he had a great bounce back season last year. Mm-hmm. I liked his to me, he's trending upward. I think after the two Tommy Johns, the cancer, the knee. I mean, I think what the Yankees did with him is got him going in the right direction. And I think that's one of your best pitching signings you guys have done in the last 5 years.
I think that's another example of intelligent spending. I don't think that's terrible. 4 years, he's going to be 35 at the end of that.
Yeah,
we'll
that's actually about when they start to peter out. See what I did there? Yeah. But I mean,
$22 million a year. That's a little pricey, but I mean
I don't know. I like that signing way more than the Bellinger thing. And I know the Bellinger's a 1-year deal, so like you said, but I look at it as a 1-year deal on a team that has told us in the offseason that they're gonna go for it this year. And that's yet to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my only problem with either of these deals. I don't have a problem with either of them. I have a problem that these are the biggest deals that they made so far. So, that could change if a Carlos Correa is signed. I'm not sure it really changes if Dansby Swanson is signed as the shortstop, but
what did they?
That's a conversation for later if and when either of those things happen. But
I got a crazy scenario that I work with a Cub fan, ex-Tribune reporter who I used to read. So it was really, when I saw his name when I first started my job, I was like,
you're not at liberty to say who this is?
No, I'm going to right now. I'm like, ooh, Dave Wojnarowski. That can't be the same guy who used to write for the Tribune back in the day when the Cubs were in the playoffs and all that stuff. And it turns out it is. It's just, we went out to lunch, talked baseball, the whole thing. Yeah. He believes him and I give each other shit constantly, but he definitely believes that there's a huge possibility that the Cubs are signing both Correa and Swanson, and Swanson shall move till second base.
I've seen this.
Or third base, or third. One of them's moving to third base or something.
They need somebody at third for sure. We've got Nico Horner to hold down second base if needs be. But yeah, I've heard that floated out there. I think until I see it, I mean, we have seen the playbook. We have, for the last 2 years, we've seen intelligent spending, and we've seen where it's going. And this is every step they've made this year falls right into that. You know, they've spent intelligently on Marcus Stroman and now Jameson Taillon for the rotation, but that's intelligent spending on number 2, maybe probably 3 or number 4 starters. That's not.
Yeah, they don't have a true number 1 right now.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
And that's where a team like the Chicago Cubs should not be scrounging around the edges of the market looking for value. They need to set the market and get the best players on the fucking field. And I'm not seeing it yet. And I don't see any signs other than from fans and reporters, throwing out theories that I would love to buy into, but I don't see it until they do it. And they've told us since 2020 that they're not going to be throwing their money around. They had biblical losses, and now they're going to be intelligently spending. And neither of those things scream to me that they are going to get one, let alone 2 of the top.
If they don't sign one of them, I want a fucking refund from my little visit there with my kids that cost me $130 to get in the door to do a couple of fucking ice events and a
goddamn, you're at Winter Wonderland.
Yeah. Like
you went there because they might sign a shortstop.
No, I want them to do it though. I didn't know it was going to end up costing me so much money to fucking get in. And then I was like, good fucking Lord, they better.
You're part of the problem then. You're giving these people the money.
They better do a big fucking signing.
Yeah.
I spent money to ride in a little train around the infield. Yippee fucking do.
I forgot about those pictures. Yeah, you sent some confusing pictures.
Well, the first one was hilarious when Charlie and I were waiting to play like some of the like carnival games they had there. I look over at the bleacher basket and there's it's like they didn't clean out the basket from the season. There's like a beer cup,
wasn't there a tennis ball
and a softball and a softball.
Oh, a softball. That makes a little more sense. But what's going on over at Wrigley?
I mean, come on, guys, pony up for the off-season cleanup.
You got to save every money. You got to spend intelligently. You don't spend on cleanup, do you?
We can clean up this beer at the beginning of next season. Yeah, it'll get that smell back in we want.
Word Hole Media.